Every century has a ruler. Empires rise, empires fall, and power shifts. From the Romans to the Mongols, from the British Empire to the Soviet Union, history is a relentless story of power gained and power lost. Today, the world stands at another turning point, a monumental shift that will define the lives of everyone on this planet. This is the story of the New World Order and the battle to control the future. For most of the last 80 years, one power dominated the world, the United States. After the devastation of World War II, America emerged not just as a victor, but as the architect of a new global system. Through institutions like the United Nations, the World Bank, and NATO, America shaped the rules of global trade, finance, and security. The US dollar became the world's reserve currency, a symbol of its unparalleled economic might. Its military was unmatched, with bases spanning the globe, projecting power into every corner of the earth. This was the era of the Pax Americana, an age of American peace, where for decades the world seemed to orbit a single, unshakable center of gravity. But history never stands still. Power is like water. It always finds a new path. And today, that path is leading east. China, a nation with a history stretching back millennia, is rising at a speed the world has never seen before. In just a few decades, it has lifted hundreds of millions out of poverty and built an economic engine that rivals America's. From futuristic megacities to the world's largest high-speed rail network, China's transformation is staggering. But its ambition doesn't stop at its borders. The Belt and Road Initiative, a colossal infrastructure project, is creating new arteries of trade and influence across Asia, Africa, and Europe, redrawing the economic map of the world. Its military is modernizing at a breathtaking pace, developing advanced naval fleets, stealth fighters, and hypersonic missiles. China is no longer just a regional power. It's as a global force with a clear vision to reclaim what it sees as its rightful place at the center of the world. Meanwhile, another old power stirs. Russia, feeling cornered and diminished after the collapse of the Soviet Union, is determined to reclaim its lost influence. Under strong leadership, it has reasserted itself on the world stage, using its vast energy resources as a political lever and its modernized military to challenge the post-Cold War order in places like Georgia, Syria, and Ukraine. Russia sees the expansion of NATO as an existential threat and is pushing back, determined to carve out its own sphere of influence and shatter the unipolar moment it never accepted. But this isn't just a three-player game. The world is becoming profoundly multipolar. India, a democratic giant, is flexing its muscles. With a population set to become the world's largest and a rapidly growing economy, it's charting its own course, balancing relationships with both the West and the rising powers of the East. The European Union, a unique political and economic bloc, struggles to speak with one voice but remains a global regulatory and trade superpower. And other regional players, from Brazil and South Africa to Turkey and Indonesia, are demanding a greater say in how the world is run. The old G7 club of wealthy nations is now challenged by new groupings like the BRICS, which recently expanded to include more countries from the global south. The world is no longer a pyramid with one power at the top. It's becoming a complex, interconnected web of competing and cooperating centers of power. As the players change, so do the rules of the game. Wars are no longer fought only with tanks and battleships. The new battlefields are economic, digital, and ideological. We are living in an age of hybrid warfare. Consider the weaponization of trade. Sanctions, tariffs, and export controls are now frontline tools of foreign policy. The trade war between the US and China isn't just about balancing deficits. It's a strategic battle for economic dominance in the 21st century. Whoever controls the global supply chains for essential goods, from medical supplies to microchips, holds immense leverage over other nations. The pandemic gave us a stark lesson in this reality. Money itself has become a weapon. By controlling access to the international financial system, powers can cripple the economies of their rivals without firing a single shot. This is why we see a growing push for de-dollarization, as countries like China and Russia seek to create alternative payment systems to reduce their vulnerability to American financial power. The rise of digital currencies could accelerate this trend, fundamentally reshaping the global flow of capital. But perhaps the most critical battleground of our time is technology. Power in the 21st century belongs to those who control the digital high ground. Artificial intelligence isn't just about smarter phones. It's about developing autonomous weapons, sophisticated surveillance systems, and predictive analytics that can give a nation a decisive strategic edge. The race for AI supremacy is the new space race. Semiconductors, the tiny chips that power everything from our cars to our defense systems, have become the new oil. The struggle to control their design and production is a matter of national security for every major power. And then there's the unseen world of cyberspace, where nations wage a constant low-level war, stealing secrets, disrupting critical infrastructure, and spreading disinformation to sow chaos in rival societies. The next global superpower may not win with armies, but with algorithms. As the global chessboard is reset, old alliances are being tested. For decades, NATO was the bedrock of Western security. Today it's expanding once more, a direct response to a resurgent Russia, but it also faces internal questions about its purpose and burden sharing. Alliances are becoming more fluid and transactional. Friends are becoming rivals in the economic sphere. Rivals are becoming temporary partners to achieve a common goal. The simple binaries of the Cold War are gone, replaced by a complex geometry of interests. So, what does the future hold? No one knows for certain. Will we see a new Cold War, a tense bipolar standoff between the United States and China? Or will we enter a chaotic multipolar world with many competing powers, a clash of civilizations where regional conflicts could easily spiral out of control? Could a single superpower re-emerge, one that masters the new tools of power? Or is a more cooperative, multilateral order still possible, where nations work together to solve shared challenges like climate change and pandemics? One thing is certain: the comfortable and predictable world order that many of us grew up in is over. History is accelerating. The ground is shifting beneath our feet. We are living through the creation of a new global map, and its borders are being drawn right now. In the headlines we read every day, the future will belong to those who can understand this new, complex game of power. It will belong to those who can navigate the currents of change. To stay ahead of history and understand the forces shaping our world, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.